Coming to you live from the Drew Estate and Gurkha Cigar Studios in the great state of New Hampshire. Welcome to the Spare Notes series with your hosts, Matt Tobacco, Pat Chamberlain, and William Cooper.
And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of the Spare Notes series. My name is Matt Tobacco from SmokingTobacco.com, and I am joined once again by Mr. Patrick Chamberlain, my co-host and colleague, also from the great state of New Hampshire, and from beautiful Indian Trail, North Carolina. It's the one and only William Cooper. And tonight, a special surprise, we're also joined by Nicole, who hasn't been on a show with us in quite some time, but has decided to come on and join us and hang out for the night. And it's great to have her back with us.
Absolutely. Welcome, Nicole.
Thanks. Nice to see everyone.
Now that our
Absolutely.
child is no longer teetering on dying in a body cast, now we have a little bit more time to both be together for stuff like this. So it's nice. It's very nice.
Nice. Very nice.
So yeah, anyway, here we are. Why is this so foggy? Damn, these have been sitting. I'm just getting my cigar out of here, and it's... Oh, it's a 23. Oh, okay. Sorry, don't mind me. I was just a little confused by some of the packaging here.
You take the cellophane off. You take the cellophane off of it. That's usually what you do.
Well, yeah, no shit. There was some stuff on there that looked a little weird, and I was like, wait, what is that? But it's fine. No, on the cellophane, the cellophane was all like creamy looking, and like foggy, and sometimes it's just whatever. But I wiped it wouldn't go away, and I'm like, oh, is it something else?
Moisture, yeah.
It's
not moisture, is it?
Well, it wasn't wet either. That's why, because I'm like, oh, sometimes it's like in the humidor, the moisture, it gets like a little foggy.
Yeah.
But no, it wasn't that. It's a 23 Las Calaveras, by the way. So,
Nice.
and that box was wrapped and sealed. I just broke that open. So yeah, I mean they've been in that box for a couple years. So anyway, whatever. Who cares? Jay Davis. People died of old age waiting for this show, but it's all worth it to see Nicole, the queen of late night.
Jay's so sweet. He's buttering me up. I miss you, Jay.
Yeah, it's the queen of late night, right up there with the king of late night with Greg Gutfeld.
Who?
We're just gonna do this. He's on Fox News. I watch Greg Gutfeld on Fox News. Okay, there you go.
Oh, I know you don't. I actually know you're talking about.
You can connect the rest of the dots. That's all I'm gonna say.
The king of late night is Johnny Carson. Let's be very, very clear on that.
Not according to Variety. Variety a few months ago, remember they named Greg Gutfeld the king of late night, and then Stephen Colbert got fired, and he was like, "See, I told you."
Right. It's always Johnny Carson. Always. There's no one who touches Johnny. No one.
Yeah. Anyway, let's see. Sorry. Let's get caught up with the comments here. I want to fix this because now we have 4 of us on here. So normally this is just dead space, but now I got to try to tweak this a little bit so that way it doesn't cover us, which is very rare that we have 4 people like in the mega grid here. That usually doesn't happen very often. So
we tried doing it with Carney, and it destroyed the entire show.
Well, that was Carney kind of, I think, coming in. Yeah.
Well, the other thing too is Nicole's with me, so even though there's a second box here, she's tapped off of a second camera line on my computer, versus like 3 different connections dialing in. So technically, that's still 1. So that might be part of it too.
And we have good internet. That helps.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like.
Yeah, we're always hardwired down here, so the best connection possible. But anyway, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's good to be back. Yes, we were late. Coop had some issues with his audio and his microphone, which we later, after struggling with that for a little bit, we realized, oh, it's just because Coop started using Safari again. Nicole saved the day.
Nicole figured it out, yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, Nicole.
So,
I've been struggling still. So.
And I was just a little bit late getting home today, so I did my best. I apologize, but, sometimes, these things happen. But we're here now, and I brought somebody with me. So how about that? You guys, I made it worth the wait. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna try to stretch this out a little bit. I don't want it to like cut us off too much, but I don't want it to be too small. There we go. But it's great to see everybody. And it's Saturday night. Spare Notes and Coop's here. Pat and I had a great time on Wednesday with probably one of the biggest clients of Cooper's driving service and baggage handling, and that's Jose Blanco of Skopje. Is that how you say where he lives?
Oh, Matthew, you got it almost right, but let me tell you something. That Pat Chamberlain, he really impressed me the other night. He's a passionate cigar guy, and he's very knowledgeable.
Oh, Matthew, I gotta tell you, Coop. I talk to Coop like almost every other day. Coop told me that he talks to me more than his wife, and I said, yeah, I believe it.
Oh, it's probably true when I'm not home, right? When we were at Carlito's party, this came up as well. He said, you're the person he's married to.
Oh, you're the other spouse. Oh, I'm the other one. My name's Jose. the other man. Jose's like, I'm the other man.
he was very happy with the show. I spoke to him, and he had a great. Of course, he's going to give me and I had only watched part of it. I think I watched the whole thing in two, and Jose was really excited about that. He thought you guys did a great job, and you did. You guys did do a great job.
Well, thank you. We always strive to do the best we can do, and Pat was ready with some great stuff too. And
he was.
Did Jose compliment you, Matthew? Did he redeem himself?
I honestly, I don't. Oh yeah. Well, okay. He did make some very good comments, and showed a lot of appreciation for the cigar media towards the end of the show. And I said, Jose, that means a lot because this is often a thankless job. Coop, as you know, we've talked about this hundreds of times. Yeah. And he showed a lot of appreciation for the cigar media. And I said, you know what, Jose, I really appreciate that because that's really, really nice.
I just remember when he called you fat.
Well, that came up.
He called Jay fat, too.
That did come up on the show, actually.
Yeah.
Every time I think of it, I'm like, oh, yeah.
Well, you got fat, Matthew.
I just
didn't know if he was trying to make nice, but what? It's fine.
I just remember,
I don't think either saying it.
And Jay, who's our number one fan of this show, will definitely chime in. But I remember when that happened, and then I saw Jay, and then Jay went, he fucking called me fat too. And I was like, oh. So, that's another bond I have with Jay. We've both been fat shamed by Jose. So it's my fat brother right there.
He's European. Don't take it personally.
Oh, I know. But me and Jay have that bond now because we're both, it's like a shark attack survivor. It's an elite group. We're both shamed by Jose Blanco. But it is what it is. I wouldn't have it any other way. It's the best way. It's been relatively quiet overall in the cigar industry lately. A couple of things have come up, and we'll definitely talk about that. On the last show, we talked a lot about the tablecloth events, which
tablecloth events
was kind of a hot topic apparently because Coop had some feedback, and I don't know if you want to share any of that follow up. You don't have to, but
I basically got feedback saying some people were basically justifying that they do good events to me. There were some people saying I was also right on the money in terms of events. But it was kind of funny. There were a lot of people who were messaging me saying, I don't do that at events, what you talk about. I try to make it experiential. And I said, I never said it was everybody and you. But basically, I had several people message me saying, how they basically agreed with me that, events have really gotten stale. And I actually think events have gotten worse than stale. I think it's kind of reached a critical piece. There's one manufacturer who I'm not going to mention, but he basically said to me, I hope I don't let you down with our series of upcoming events. So that was kind of interesting. Yeah. But there were some people that were just telling me hey, I'm a rep and I work hard and I'm slinging, cigars and I'm on the road. I can't be an entertainer. or other things are saying, people saying, hey, the retailer, it's the retailer's fault. They're not doing their job, And, my answer to them back was, if the retailer's not doing your job, then don't have an event. If you don't have expectations laid out before that event, then don't have the event, is my opinion. You don't need to have the event.
Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, the tablecloth thing, not to like keep going on about it, but it's like my follow-up, in the 90s and the 2000s, like, yay, great. But like, it's 2025. Like, it's tired now. We have a lot of new things.
Okay, but on the flip side,
You got to
right?
bring your mic in a little bit.
Sorry. Okay. But on the flip side, right? So there was an event last week in Massachusetts. Shocking, because there's not a lot of cigar events in Massachusetts.
Right.
But they were charging and getting a lot of crap for this, but $800 for an admission to a cigar event.
Oh, we know what that was.
Were you talking about? Did you talk about it last?
I don't know.
I don't.
I don't know if we talked about that specifically, but
So
I'm pretty sure me and Coop have acknowledged to each other that we knew about this.
Oh, wait. I know what you're talking. Yes, I know what you're talking about. Yes.
yeah, so the David Ortiz event. So that
Yes,
one
yeah,
took
that's right.
place last Wednesday, I think. But the comments on like all of the social media were pretty negative, like on the ticket, like $800 a ticket or whatever, for whatever they were offering. And I believe it's his father's cigar company. His father started a cigar factory, I believe, or a cigar company. So he's promoting that. So it's not affiliated with Artista and his actual cigar. But
Yeah,
but that's a steep ticket for an event, for like a few hour event.
Yeah. Now I don't know all the circumstances around the event. I mean, I know, for example, Fuente does a lot of events, and a lot of that money goes to charity, right? So, there may have been a charitable. I don't know. In my opinion, I don't have necessarily a problem with someone charging $800, provided you deliver the value at that event. And hopefully,
That's also a good point.
Yeah, and even if the part of the value is a charitable contribution, I'm fine with that.
I don't think it was, but like a box of cigars was included. That was autographed
right.
from
Sure.
David Ortiz. He showed up at the event, so I think he was doing photo ops with people, and a couple drinks. Like, I don't think there was like much else.
Right, but yeah, I mean, like I said, it all depends on what was laid out as the expectation for the event, in my opinion. It's if people are willing to pay that, and like I said, there's a charitable. If hopefully there was a charitable thing, and I'm not saying, but as long as the value was there in some component. My only feedback on that event, this is my feedback on this, and I was talking to someone. Basically, if you're not putting these events on social media, in my opinion, the event didn't take place. That's my opinion. It's just there's no record of the event. You got to have a record of the event somewhere.
Yeah, I saw some photos. So it took place at a restaurant, like Rooftop in Quincy.
So someone did. So they did. Okay.
Yeah. So someone. So it was at a restaurant. People were tagging the restaurant's name, but it wasn't actually on their cigar page. And the company, because I don't think we actually mentioned it. What was it? It was Americo. Is that the name? I think that's the name of it. His company, but they don't really have a huge social media presence at this point. It looks like they started the page last year, but there's not a lot of like stuff going on it.
It's interesting. I did see this on social media now. So they did have this was advertised. I do remember it now. When you said Americo, yes, they did put that on there.
And they must have paid for Facebook advertising because it popped up like as a suggested sponsored event.
Yeah.
So they were like paying to advertise it.
This is the one that was in Quincy, right?
Yeah, Quincy.
Yeah, that's how I remember it. Now I'm remembering it.
But yeah, I don't know.
Was it at the marina something, whatever?
I
think that's where Tom Brady lived when he first came here. I remember that.
I'm not sure, but the restaurant was called Alba Restaurant. Like it was on a roof deck.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, that's like a nice part of Quincy. I think that's where Tom Brady lived when he first came to New England before he bought a sprawling estate in Brookline. Ooh, Brookline, Mass. I hate Brookline, Mass. You guys, see, Coop, you probably don't know where that is, and Pat, you probably know where that is, but that's where like all the uppity-uppities live. Like Robert Kraft lives there, Brady lives there. You know.
That's right, Cambridge, right? It's
Yeah.
not far from Cambridge.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
right next door.
Yeah. It's part of the
I
surrounding. Yeah.
yeah, I think I can't say I've spent a lot of time there, but I think I've seen the signs there.
Yeah, I've done work in that town. Let me tell you. Oof, man, never again. City inspectors are. Anyway, so, but yeah, I mean, it's not the first time we've seen an event that. I mean, what does Abe charge for the Great Smoke? Like, not just the day up, but like.
I think it's like 150, right?
Okay, so you get all that for 150.
Yeah, I mean, not counting the dinner is separate and all that, but you don't have to do that. 150, you get more than your money's worth at Abe.
Yeah. David Garofalo, Two Guys Smoke Shop, they do the expo, which is 2 whole days. You get dinner, you get cigars, you get a whole bunch of other stuff. It's very, you know, there's entertainment and all that. And I
You're
can't
talking
remember.
about the two guys are the kings of events, though. I mean, Abe and Dave are the kings
Yeah.
of events.
That's what I mean. Like that, so that
Yeah.
you start at the start. You start
Yeah.
at the top, right? And that's
Yeah,
that's
I mean,
what
they're the
you
model.
have.
They're the model you should be using. Yeah.
Correct. I know that Jeff doesn't do a big event. Unless I'm forgetting something.
He does some bigger events, but
But he does
doesn't do
events.
kind of like he doesn't do like the big multi-vendor thing.
Yeah,
Right.
but I you know, I can imagine that, you know, either way, an event that you do with Corona is going to be top notch. I mean, Jeff's
Yeah.
also another guy who knows what he's doing. There's also several, like, you know, like I don't want it to sound negative because it's not, but like middle tier stores where like they're not like big like Corona and Smoke Inn where they have multiple locations and 2 guys and you know, but
yeah, I mean, Jay does great events. I've been to Jay's event.
but that's what I mean. Like
Craig
people
Katz does
like
great events. Yeah.
Jay and Ronnie Haysha and you know, those guys. They have like one store, but like they're on social media. They're constantly promoting their products. They promote their events. Like they do everything that they can do with what they have. You know, they let everybody know. They keep posting about it. Like Ronnie will post about stuff that comes in. And then he's got what's her name? I'm sorry. Is it Heather who's like kind of like his like number 2 there? I see her like posting stuff now about the store and the lounge and stuff they're doing. Like, so like they're on top of their shit, right? You know what I mean? Like that's what I'm just trying to get at. Is like they're on top of their shit. And then there's some stores where like, oh, did you hear about that event last week? And I'm like, no, where was it? It was at, you know, XYZ. No, I didn't hear anything about it. Did they announce it or anything? I think they like told people in the store. Well, I wasn't in there, so how the fuck am I gonna know? Like Twins, I have to give a lot of credit to Twins. They've done a lot more advertising of events and stuff, I've noticed over the last couple of years. Not that I think that they were ever bad, but I do remember a point when I didn't really see a lot of promotion of stuff, unless there was just like a lull period when I, you know, started kind of being involved with them and interacting and knew about them for a while. But last couple of years, like I see, like, you know, Twins has events, like they share stuff and they post on social media, which Pat, I don't know who does it, but I'm sure you know. But it's been good, you know, so like props to you guys. But yeah, I mean, dude, like it just boils down to if you're going to do an event in the store and you want people to come in and spend money, like not only do you have to make sure that everybody knows about it, but then like when they get there, you got to make them feel like it was worth the drive, man. I mean, don't just like, you know, word of mouth and then they show up and there's just like a table with a guy who's like, "Hi, I'm a local broker. Here's you buy 3 boxes, I'll give you a hat." Like, okay.
Yeah. I'm actually going to an event next week, and I'm actually doing a live stream, which I rarely do. And I'm doing this for I'm really doing it because I love the store, but I'm also doing it because it's Josh Habarsky's PCA event.
Oh, okay.
And he asked me, and I graciously accepted the offer to do it. And they've been the store and Josh have been promoting this event, and that's all I ask. Honestly, that's all I ask.
That's all you need.
Just do that. That's all I need you to, and they've been promoting it well. So it's a big thank you. And it's not going to be a formal show or anything, but it's just going to be a live stream, and Ben's going to come down for it. And we're happy to do that. And this event, though, the expectations are, and people are going to get a chance to interact with Josh. So, I mean, I spoke to Josh, and there's a lot of good. So I think it's not necessarily a sales event, but this is a reason to come in to see one of the key guys in the industry here. And Josh is a key guy as anybody in this industry right now. So If you love the industry and you're in Charlotte, check out Vintage Cigar next Saturday.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Go check that out.
Yep. But I'm happy because they're promoting the event. I didn't even have to ask them to do it. That was even the other thing.
No,
Yeah.
I mean,
Sometimes you think you're asking for the crown jewels. Hey, can you promote the event? Like, it's like.
oh, I don't know. That's a big ask. Like, you mean I have to go on social media and like post like a thing saying, "Hey, we're having an event." I don't know, man. I got too much on my plate.
There are certain companies that do it better than others. I mean, Perdomo's excellent at promoting their retail events. Altadis is really good at it. So and there's a lot of companies that are. I'm leaving out, but some are really good at, it, and some just don't do it. Is what I find.
Yeah. I mean, I think COVID too. Like the whole COVID time, like half the stores like realized like it's time to step up our game, and then the other half of the stores were like, well, that's over. Let's just go back to what we know, and it's like, okay.
Yeah.
You definitely saw a shift in like 50% of the stores.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, so that's our talk on events. I don't want to spend 2 shows back to
and
back.
there was one store that told me I'm no longer welcome to come to events, and
because of that show.
Yeah. Well, because of that show, yeah.
Are you gonna tell me who that show is on the air, or do I have to wait till off the air?
I don't even remember who it is off the air, but it's no one we know. Like, yeah. So it's some store in like I don't know.
Well, I'll make this very easy because everybody knows that I'm an asshole. So, fuck
Right.
them. If that's your standpoint, then go fuck yourself. like you and your little store can fuck off.
We
like,
work hard at our events, and you don't have to come to our events. Yeah, I was like,
we won't. Bye. There's plenty of stores, brother. See ya. Oh man, Wayne Clark's with us tonight. Wayne, how are you? JJ's here. Kevin O'Connor. Got all the usual suspects rolling in. It's great to see everybody. Thanks for everyone for being here. Question: Is it the rep's job or the store's job to promote an event? We had this debate on the show last time. So I don't want to spend too much time on it.
It's laying out expectations, though. It's laying out the expectations ahead of time.
Yeah.
Wayne's always done a good job. Like he was our rep in Charlotte for Placencia for a while.
Yeah.
Look, when Wayne was in town,
Wayne's awesome.
When Wayne was in town, yeah. So this is like I said. I always thought that the stores that he worked with, it was good partnership. It's just other ones that have really sucked, unfortunately. And then when you see 3 people come to the event, you want to know why 3 people only showed up. Yeah,
I know.
Right.
I know. I agree.
Yeah. I could tell you stories of a store that's no longer in Charlotte, and if I told you the names of people they had for events and they got less than 10 people, you would fall on your face.
You know what? Here's the thing. We don't even need to get into that. I believe you because I've seen enough of that shit myself.
The store's out of business, and I don't want to make the company look bad. I could tell that. I'll tell you off the air who it was, and I just remember one person in particular. Like, you have to be completely moronic if you can't get 10 people to show up for some of the names I'm going to talk about. And that's because there's just bad promotion, bad customer service, and all that combined. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Some people, man.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's all go around the room. We have a couple of things I want to mention. First, let's talk about what we're smoking, and then we'll talk about some of our friends that help make this show happen. I'll lead us off since I already mentioned mine, and then we'll go Nicole Pat Coop, just because of the way it flows.
Yeah.
So I have a fresh box of 2023 Las Calaveras in the Robusto size.
Is that the orange?
Orangey, yellowy. Yeah.
So on Jukebox, every year we try to guess the color of the band, and that year I happened to get it right.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, I got that one right. Dave got it right last year. We both got it wrong this year. So.
And these are made at one of my favorite factories in the entire business, the My Father Cigars S.A. in Nicaragua. By the Garcia family, and who's for the second time, currently our factory of the year. So,
I was 2 years in a row for us, yeah.
Bang, that's right.
Yeah, yep.
They make some good shit down there.
Absolutely.
And shout out to them for opening their Honduran factory and releasing their first Honduran cigar with the My Father Blue, which is now in stores. Nicole, what are you smoking over there?
All right, so I'm probably gonna butcher saying it, but the Alma de Cielo. Did I say that right?
You got it right.
The new one,
Yeah.
Alma de Cielo. And it's
Oh,
the
close enough. Close enough. I'll say. I'll say.
the Amancier. I'm not good at
The
pronouncing
hexagonal.
anything. Yeah. For that, I don't know.
Is that
They
your first time smoking it, Nicole?
It is because I am so behind because being a mom, don't have a lot of time to smoke.
Oh, I can
Um,
imagine.
But they sent me like this lovely little.
with the isn't that cool? How
sample.
the box slides
Oh,
and
yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
That was
Right.
pretty impressive. When
Fun.
I saw that, I was like, who figured that out? That is pretty cool. I like that.
Yeah.
And it came with the
So
torch lighter.
I like that
Yeah.
cigar a lot, Nicole. I'm kind of curious what you think about it because I've heard some people love it and some people haven't. But I thought it was a really good cigar, actually.
It's starting off very good.
Yeah.
So it did go out, but it wasn't humidified. I think it's been sitting on my dining room table for a while,
Yeah.
so that's my fault. But
Yep.
it's so far so good. I like
Yeah,
it.
I liked it a lot. I did like that cigar.
And I'm pairing with a strawberry margarita, and I finished my shot of espresso, so I was double fisting drinks. My pairing.
Coop, what do you got over there, Perdomo?
So yeah, I got the Perdomo Legacy Sun-Grown. Now I originally wasn't gonna. I'm having Nicholas on the show Thursday night. I'm gonna have this cigar again on Thursday night. So normally I don't have the same cigar twice in a week on a show. It just happened. I just screwed up, but it's a good cigar to screw up with, right?
What's the big deal?
No, exactly. And I'm using my Dupont Slimmy Fender Jazz Lighter.
Wow, getting a little bit ahead there. Let me bring them up on screen. Whoops, sorry about that. Let's.
I'm back.
Just
It's back in the family, the Fender Jazz Lighter, or the Fender Guitar Lighter. There's a Fender lighter back in the Cooper family, and it's never going away again. Because I bought this one already.
Yeah, that's right.
The last one, unfortunately, had was lost by a family member, but he's forgiven. So, yeah.
It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
We are once again riding high with our friends from ST Dupont. Shake up the legacy featuring the new Fender collection from ST Dupont. Ask your local retailer today for ST Dupont products. And Pat, finally we get to you. What are you smoking over there? I'm trying to figure it out. I almost did.
Liga 10 Anniversario.
Ooh.
that's one of my
I'm a
favorites.
fan of that cigar, Pat. I'm a
Yeah.
big fan of that cigar.
It's good.
I like it a lot.
Yeah.
It's the barn smokers in Connecticut next week, so I'm kind of getting in my my
I forgot
Liga,
about that.
Liga vibe mood right now. So it's a really good cigar if anyone hasn't had it yet. I think they're easier to get now. I know they were really tough to get. I think you have. It's not a well, it could have changed now. I think it's a retailer, like a B&M only cigar. I don't think you can get them online. Yeah, it's a nice Connecticut Criollo hybrid wrapper grown in Connecticut River Valley. Nice and spicy, sweet. It's kind of a mix of like a 9 and a 52, even though they use the Corojo in the Habano to do the hybrid for the Criollo. But I guess the easiest way to say it is it's between like the 9 and the 52. It's spicy, sweet.
So, Pat, if you were down there and you have an opportunity to get your hands on that, it's called the approved Lancero in that blend. This is coming from the Lancero hater. That's a great Lancero in that size.
Yeah, take that with some weight. I mean, that's
So if
he's
they
right.
have it down there, get it if you can, because I managed to get a few of them, and they're great Lanceros. They don't sell, and those are I think they only have my barn smokers. They don't sell those.
Yeah, they always have like a special cigar. I didn't go last year. Maybe they gave it out last year, but
They
yeah,
did give it out
always have
last year. I know that.
Yeah, they always have something you can't get.
Ooh, Jay, coming in. The Year of the Rat, that's actually a really good one. I like the Year of the Rat. And then also, but I like the Velvet Rat, too. I don't know.
The Velvet Rat's not bad.
I like the... Yeah.
You know what?
I
You know
still
what,
have
Liga?
some.
I actually like recently was like, like I gotta get more of these. The UF13.
Love that cigar.
Yeah,
Top 10 cigar. It was a top 10 cigar for me when it came out.
yeah. The UF13. I was like, you know what? Like, I smoked one again recently, and I was like, I forgot how friggin' good these are. I need to get another box or two. So Pat, if you guys get any twins, please let me know because I will buy a box.
I want to tell you, I think we actually have some now.
Do you? All right. Well, we gotta chat because I need to get more of those. Those are good.
Yeah,
Um,
because whenever we get a shipment, I usually buy the box, but I haven't bought it the last few shipments. We should have them. I don't think they put them out. I think it's like kind of box only deals for those.
yeah, I'm definitely interested. So we'll get together after on that one because those are good. Um,
You know those cigars originally were called the MF13s.
yes,
Yeah,
because
they had a little name thing they had to fix, but yeah,
yeah, and because Steve gave away a bundle of the pre-release bench samples, and they
yeah,
were banned at MF13
I
in our
had some of
raffle
those.
last year. Yeah, yeah. And I was like, wait a minute. And then I was like, oh, okay, yeah. And he was like, yeah, I've had these since like my Drew Estate days. I wanted to do something special. And I was like, oh, MF13. I'm like, oh, which one was that? And then I was like, oh, okay. And I figured it out.
Yeah,
Is that how he
Um,
said it? That doesn't sound like soccer to me.
well, that's not how he said it. Yeah, I know what you're getting at. I mean, but yeah, I mean that's if you'd like to, recreate it by all means. I mean, everybody knows you're the Saka guy. Because I remember when I asked him, and he said, "Yeah, I'll do something." And then he was like, "I wanted to do something special,
they,
So,
they actually that blend is actually a little different. That one too, because they changed something with the priming of the wrapper. It was like those were because eventually they ended up calling it UF13 Dark, and that was because the wrapper was slightly different.
So the way that in Connecticut they used to do primings is they didn't do it by Seco Visa Ligero. They did it by dark mediums, medium darks, and I
Right,
think they
you're
have
right.
different names for. So the dark is because it's UF is Unica Forte.
Yep,
So yeah, it's the Connecticut darks for the
yep,
wrapper,
yep. Good, good,
which
good
is the
point, Pat.
same wrapper as the Furrow Flying Pig uses darks.
Yeah.
wow, look at this. Jay Davis, stick with Saka, Carlito, Pete, and George. They don't sacrifice quality. Um, that's definitely true. If I had to name 4 people that behind the scenes have to be absolutely anal on their releases, as they should be. Um, it's definitely those 4. Those 4 are definitely.
I put Nick Perdomo on that
You know
list
what?
as well.
Yeah, and add Nick
I was
Perdomo.
thinking that.
Add Nick Perdomo as like
Absolutely.
as people who like
Yeah.
they will absolutely will not, no matter what. They could be losing money and they won't ship it until it is ready. And even then, I don't think they're ever fully satisfied because they're all perfectionists. But
Yeah.
I mean, they literally do the best they can to give you the best product all the time.
Yeah.
Um, not that everyone else is not great. There are definitely a couple brands that have had some misfires over the years. But those 4, very rarely do you ever see that. And not only that, but they're always consistent. Very rarely have I ever had any of their cigars where I had any burn problem, construction problem. It was just not right. Um, I maybe once each have I ever had like where like, oh, there's something wrong with this. This cigar was defective.
And I feel like it's due to usually humidity issues, not even
Yeah,
the
and even
actual
then.
cigar.
And then even then, you
It-
can't even really put that on them either because it's once it leaves them, I mean it's subjected
Yeah.
to the environment.
Yeah. I mean, and you look at like obviously Carlito and George are they have their factories, they're in the factories. But when you look at Pete and Saka, the amount of time they spend in the factory, the amount of time they spend on quality control, that's the reason.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you got to give it to them. I mean, that's why those guys are consistently on
Yeah. Yeah.
many people's lists year after year. That's why. I mean,
I mean, yeah. It's and look, do you get one that's occasionally you do? It's a handmade product. So it happens sometimes. I mean, when it's a consistent problem, that's another story.
I'll put it to you this way, and people who know me close enough, who know my buying habits, like Jay Davis, for example, um, there's few brands that I buy blind, meaning like I buy the box without even trying the cigar first. Um, every single one of them is on that list. If they have something coming out, I'm buying a box. Because I don't need to do let me try it first and then, no. If they're dropping something and I want it, it's just give me the box. I'm not worried about it.
Yeah, I think from each of them, I've done that. I think from each of them, and Nick Perdomo, I've done it. So, yeah, I mean, yeah. Well, even soccer I did it with.
Yeah. Yeah. Like when on the Nicaraguan Blacks came out, both of them, box. I hadn't even tried it. Just give me the box. And it was good. No regrets. Same
Listen,
thing with
I normally
Perdomo.
don't. Yeah.
Half of the stuff that Pete sends out, Jay knows. I'm just like, just put me down.
Yeah.
I don't need to try it. Just put me down when it comes in. I'll take it. Boom, done.
Yeah. Yeah,
Go ahead, Coop.
I
I see you. Wait, go ahead. I'm done.
I was gonna say one cigar of Saka's that kind of flew, and I'm not, I normally don't get excited about the single store release, right? But one cigar that I think really flew under the radar, right, was Abe's the Micarita Green,
Oh.
and it's coming back out this year. It's called the Emerald Fish. I was really impressed with that cigar. So to me, it was what I was expecting Tricky Traca to be. That's why I liked it. It had all the qualities of the blue, but it was stronger, and that's why I liked it. Tricky Traca I thought was a very different blend, in my opinion. It seemed like.
I would say out of all of Steve's cigars, Tricky Track is probably my least favorite. And not that I hate it. It's just my least favorite. It's a well-made cigar. I mean, it's everything that, you'd expect from Steve. Just didn't really love the flavor for me personally, but I don't think that it's bad. Just really not for me. It's been a while since I've smoked one, and maybe I should revisit it. But yeah, I mean, everyone's got one where I'm like, yeah, I didn't love it, but like, it's not even like a regret really. But there's definitely been some people who there was a lot of hype there. Their stuff has been pretty good for a while, and I'm like, all right, let me dive in, and I'm like, whoa, what happened there? And sometimes that happens, and there's reasons for that. I don't know, but it definitely happens. I'm just gonna put it out there. I mean, we're gonna give the opposite of this conversation, right? It happens, and even when that happens, I don't really knock the company unless there was a very good reason like that caused that we know of. That's like, well, I mean, that's what happens when X, Y, and Z. But I mean, I think very rarely is it ever something that's obviously like, oh, well, that was just stupid. You know what I mean? I know that that's happened too, but just in the defense, like that, it's also really usually never because of that. It's just sometimes things happen, and there's reasons for it. And I get it too. I mean, I know those people are doing the best they can. Everyone's got their problems. Sometimes in the factories and this and that, setbacks. People got to send stuff, whatever it is. It's another thing about La Flor Dominicana too. Like La Flor Dominicana has this reputation of like, oh, the back orders. Like, well, you can never get them. The one thing I will say about La Flor Dominicana is that while there is this real consensus that they're always back ordered, and that you might not always be able to get. When you do find them, they are top-notch quality, and I think that is a huge thing that LFD has going for it, is that the cigars are always top-notch, very good quality. The Gomez's do a fantastic job. Like Tony and Lito are down in the factory pretty much all the time. I'll give them that. Maybe there's something like, oh, like we've been out of this for a while, whatever. But when you get it in, that cigar is gonna perform top notch. And I think that it makes it worth the wait. And I've said that forever. And I truly believe that. That's how I feel. I know other people I've had this conversation with have agreed with me. Coop, I'm sure you would probably agree with that statement too.
Yeah.
So I mean, then you get situations like that. But But still, the cigars are great quality. And honestly, I don't think LFD sometimes gets enough credit for the quality of the cigars that they make. They really do make really good quality stuff. They do an excellent job.
So I got another confession to make on LFD. So this is
Go.
going to go mad on the list of cigars that you're just going to keep like reminding me about.
Mm-hmm.
LFD 30, which I was not wowed with the first time I had, is probably going to be a top 25 cigar on Coop this year.
Oh, add it to the list. Add it to
Listen,
the list,
it-
Pat. Pat, what's
listen,
that, 4 now?
It's at least 4 now, yeah. I was really impressed with the way that cigar came into its own. Really impressed with it.
Told you.
But Pat even told me to give it a little more time. I remember we were talking about this late last year. Pat said, give this cigar a little more time, and I did.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the other thing, too. And Pat's pretty good with that because
Yeah.
the other thing, too, like that Pat has going for him is he spent a lot of time in the stores. So he would try stuff, like when it first came in and they put it on the shelf, he'd grab one and smoke it. And then he's in the store every day. So then he just stays on top of these things, and he's just always, like, and that's one of the things that I like about Pat is that he always knows kind of like where things are at. Like me and you, we're not always in the store. So like we buy stuff and then we come home
Yeah.
and then like where Pat has, when he's working in the store, he's got this time and he's always in the humidor. So he's always in front of everything. And I can't tell you how many times something's come out and he's been like, it's good. Give it 3 months. Give it like the tenderloins. The tenderloins, I have them right here. I remember Pat got one before I did, and he smoked it out of the bundle, and he's like, "It's good. I think it needs more time." And then I think you were smoking one again like recently, and you were like, "It's definitely gotten better, but I think with time it's going to be really great." And there's been others too, and it's definitely true. I mean, some cigars just they age better, you know. I can tell you, I think that Fuente's Opus X is good out of the box. You can open the box and smoke it, it'll be fine. But I will tell you, as someone who's had a lot of Opus over the years and been able to let it all rest for a while and smoke it as time goes on, even like a few years later, and it definitely gets better. I still have boxes that are 5 years old, and I'll have one out of that box, and I'm like, wow, this really changed. It's not a bad thing either. I mean, especially if you're patient. Sometimes that little bit of age, it makes a difference. And if you really know your cigars, you could like Pat, like for example, like you could smoke something and maybe it's not right where you want it to be, but you can tell that it will be. So again, like when I smoke these cigars and you're like, I don't know, and I'm like, just give it time, and then it's like, oh yeah, no, it ended up being good. It's like, because I know it's gonna get there and it's gonna be good. And I don't want to say it because I don't want to call you out, but there's another cigar that we've been talking about lately that has come out and you did not a big fan, and then you're like, oh, that's the consensus I keep hearing. And I'm still like, I don't know. I've smoked like five of them.
One from the trade show.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to say what it is yet, but this one I've gotten multiple feedbacks of disappointment with. So we'll see. We'll see is what I'll say. I'm going to be fair. I'll keep an open mind with it when I get into a review cycle with it.
When we're done, I'm going to bring it up with Pat because I'm sure by now Pat's had it, and I want to know what Pat thinks on this argument.
But why is it a secret? Is it not spare note material?
I mean, I would say it. I don't know.
I'm okay saying it. Again, it's a.
I don't care. I like it. I have nothing to hide. So
I worry that it wasn't. It's disappointing, is what I was going to say.
If it's the cigar I'm thinking about, I think Coop already said that his team smoked it. One person liked it, other people didn't like it.
Yeah,
That's the one I'm thinking about.
It's the My Father Blue.
Right.
Yeah, that's what we've talked about that before.
Yeah.
So
So again, I got to be fair and go in with an open mind with it.
Which I have a box of already. Because I liked it. And I was like, I'm definitely buying a box. And I just smoked one out of that. So I've smoked a few from the show.
Everything's been show sample that I've smoked. So.
And I smoked one out of the box. And it was still good.
So, I have smoked it. Yeah, I smoked it last week. I smoked
Honestly,
a few of them.
what's your take?
smokes like the Plasencia 149. If you
which
took
I'm
the
not a fan
band
of.
off.
Which I'm not a fan of. Which I'm not a fan of.
But do you like
So
that,
then,
Pat?
I mean, I was shocked. I liked it. It's, and again, you look at the price point. It's reasonable for the price. But yeah, it smokes just like a 149. And actually, honestly, like, people are gonna probably give me shit for that. I smoked the Dark Star from Rocky like earlier today, and I was like, huh, this tastes like a My Father Blue. So it tastes like
Oh,
a core Honduran cigar. Like and that's
oh,
what they were going for.
that was such
Those
a
seeds.
disappointment. That Dark Star. Oh,
I
Yeah,
mean,
you.
it's the thing about, like, we've talked about this, like, no, Honduran isn't for everyone. I feel like Honduran tobacco is like one of those niche consumers, like, because it's either you love or you hate Honduran tobacco. Like, when it comes to like Dominican, Nicaragua, and the other prominent regions, like, it's a mix. Like, people like some of those cigars and not others. But I feel like Honduran, you love it or you hate it. And there's like two tiers of Honduran to me. Like, you have like what Plasencia is doing, what Rocky's doing, and now what My Father's doing. They have more of like a minerally Honduran blend where you have like the Auroras who have like, because they use a Corojo, and it's more of like a bitter, like buttery nut kind of
yep.
portfolio. So I guess, like, assuming Coop's palate is not a fan of like kind of like the mineral kind, the
I don't like
mineral
that mineral. Right,
flavor.
right. I, but I've given CLE and JRE Honduran Puro Cigar of the Year. So I do. But Pat, I think you framed it perfectly. That's how there's that one tier, but then the other tier I just can't get into, and it's that minerally piece. You're right on the money with that.
I
Did you guys
mean,
smoke out? Did you guys smoke? I'm sorry, Matt. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
no. Go ahead.
Did you guys smoke Aladino Cameroon Reserva?
I
Who
did.
has their phone on?
I smoked,
Me. I had it. Leave it on now.
I smoked the original release, and then they just reshipped a couple weeks ago. They're back in stores again.
Wait, say it again. Sorry, your phone distracted me. Which one? The which one?
The Aladino Cameroon
Yeah.
Reserva.
Yes, I have smoked it.
I'm in love with that cigar.
That's a good cigar.
That's another one that didn't wow me out of the gate, but a little time on those cigars. And the 20, Huso told me the 24s have a lot of age on them too. The 25s, the ones that were just released, and that's why the 25s are even smoking good right now.
Yeah, wait, wait. You said the 25s? You mean the 85s?
So they released them in 24, and then there was another batch that just came out for 25.
Oh, you're talking about the year. Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about the 85. I'm like, wait.
No. The
I
85 is
get
completely
you now.
different.
Yeah.
The 85, which I have not smoked yet. I have them, but I haven't smoked it yet.
I've smoked it.
I don't think I've had that yet.
I don't think you have either. We have more.
I have smoked that tobacco they use though, and it's really good.
Yeah, I made sure I got enough for you too. Thank Jay. Yeah, it was good. Yeah, Jay, Jay stepped up. He had him. Thank you, Jay. I told you, Jay's the best. Yeah, I like that one too. I think I've smoked both sizes. I definitely had the Toro.
Yeah, you've had both because you said before that the Robusto was much better.
Yeah, now I remember. Yeah, because we talked about it. That's right. I did smoke both. And then there's still one of each for you. Yeah, that's another good one. That's another trade show release that's currently like high on my list of things I like. La Aurora's release from the show is high on my list of things I like so far. There's definitely
high on my list. This is very high on my list.
as I've already said, yeah, the Legacy is high on my list. I really like it.
What a job they did with this cigar.
Have you smoked all three of them, Coop?
Yep.
Which one's the top?
Sun-grown. Shade-grown, excuse me. What's that? It's the shade-grown. Normally it's the Maduro is my favorite of the three. But this one, the Maduro, I like the Maduro a lot. It's really good, but it's not the shade grown.
I think I'm with you on the shade grown.
The shade
Yeah.
grown is and the Connecticut's excellent too. I mean, they're all excellent, but one has to be. If you have to go 1, 2, 3, it's probably shade grown 1, Connecticut 2, Maduro 3.
You know, it's interesting because when the 30th came out, I remember I liked all three. I really liked the Connecticut, but then a lot of people didn't like the Connecticut. From
I was the Maduro guy, and I had the Connecticut second.
Right. We had Sun Grown at number 1. Maduro, I think, was number 10 or number 11.
Yep.
And
I
then
had all three on my list. Yeah.
I don't think the Connecticut made the list just because it didn't get enough votes. But I liked all three. I thought all three were great.
Yeah.
And again with the legacy too.
Very underrated. The Connecticut flew under the radar.
I think I would probably go shade grown Connecticut then Maduro with the legacy.
Yeah.
And not even because like the Maduro is last because it's like not great. I think they're all
Maduro
great.
can still make the Coop list. That's how good it is. I mean, it's but normally I always gravitate to their Maduros as my favorite. So I can go through all these lines, and I always tend to go with the Maduro. And this time it's the shade grown without question. And this, you were asking me the other day, this is Coop eligible because they got out before the 4th of July. So Nicole's birthday is the basically
deadline.
the deadline. Yeah, that's how you can always remember, Matt. If it's released before Nicole's birthday, it's good.
Didn't it used to be the 30th?
No, it was always the PCA trade show when it was the summer.
Oh, that's right. That's
so
right.
I just made it July 4th now. I just said it's July 4th. Kind of a good breaking. Yeah. Before a holiday, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what I'm thinking of. I must be thinking of something else.
You're thinking, well, they have to be reviewed by October 31st.
That's what I'm thinking of, yeah.
So there's a release date, but then there's a review because my criteria, and everyone has different criteria, it has to be reviewed. So if the review doesn't get in by October 31st, it's not eligible.
Yeah. This is definitely going to be...
Yeah, you were just going to say, I know you're going to say, Matt. Go ahead.
This is going to be a busy year.
It's going to be a competitive year this year.
Yeah.
Last year, I didn't think it was... Last year was an easy number one. I think there's a few contenders for number one this year. At least 2 at the rate right now.
At least 3 for me. But the top 5 will be tough. Top 10 is going to be very interesting. Most of the list will be interesting, but that top 10 is going to be...
Yeah. My highest scoring cigar is not eligible, though.
Really?
Yeah. It's the Davidoff Oro Blanco.
Oh, well, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, that was gifted. It wasn't really I have to always buy. The other criteria is I have to buy it, and I can, as much as I love it, a $750 cigar, it's expensive, and I don't know if I can really put that as a cigar of the year. So, without
Did you review the Bandolero Premium yet? Cool.
I've smoked it though. I liked it. I mean, I think you and Jay were the ones telling me really high on it. I haven't reviewed it, but it was. I thought it was the best Bandolero I've had so far.
I forgot what we gave. I think it was in the 90s. What, 94 maybe, 93?
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
It's a good cigar. In fact, we did Jay. We invited Jay to give us his top picks from the trade show of cigars, and that I think was his favorite. So we always ask a guest person every year to kind of submit something.
He also said the Romeo 150, and that was good.
It's
really
that
like
was
that
really
cigar.
really good.
I almost forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
We have Twins is doing a Pappy tasting. They're doing each Pappy side by side, doing flights, and I suggested that the Romeo 150 be the pairing cigar just because of how good of a bourbon cigar it is. I don't know if they're doing it or not, but I was impressed with it. It's really... And Coop, I remember we talked about that. Coop likes it, and he dislikes Sumatra, which was a shocker that he didn't do it. So.
Yeah, I do. They found a way to make Sumatra taste good.
I would say one tobacco that I'm not particularly a big fan of is San Vicente. Or at least when it's used too much. And there's a couple of brands that I think use it a little too much. And I've talked to people about it, and they've agreed with certain brands. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know what it is, but like, yeah, it's that San Vicente. They use too much. That's definitely one for me which Coop we've talked about.
Yeah.
It just, it's too much. It's just. I don't know if it's just my taste buds, but if there's too much of it in a blend, the whole cigar just tastes like a used coffee filter.
And I find
It's
the
like,
other part is when you go too heavy with the Olor, it's the same thing. But what's interesting, I love Davidoff, and they find a way to get those two tobaccos to play well.
yeah, yeah, I'd agree with you on that.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
do. They find a way to. They find it like if you're heavy on the Olor, it's not what I enjoy. Same with the San Vicente. You're right. So
it's interesting. Jay Davis said another new cigar that I liked a lot is McAuliffe Green, and I usually don't like Matafina. Also, purple was great too.
purple
Excuse me.
was purple was, and again, if I have to rate the colors that are out, right? Purple's fourth. Not that it's a bad cigar, but something has to be fourth. If the four out, that's fourth.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to put it ahead of the other three.
Yeah, I still think black is number one.
I still think black is number one. The red was number two. The blue was number three, and they were all really good.
I'd agree with that. I haven't had McAuliffe Green, but which is that out yet? I didn't think that was even out yet.
It's floating
I-
around. It's floating around, but it's not
not
available
shipped.
to buy.
Yeah.
Right, but it's been floating around with retailers and ambassadors.
Yeah. Yeah. That's another one. I'm interested to try that one. I would say, I think the best thing McAuliffe did was the color series. I really do. I think that's the best thing that they've done in their portfolio.
It really is. I'm glad they're kind of moving away from some of the San Andreas too now. So I know white's going to be a Connecticut, and I think that's next after green. So I'm kind of glad they're kind of. I think they did what they wanted to do with San Andreas. So I think it's good they're exploring some other wrappers right now.
Yeah, and I think there's a yellow as well.
I thought it was orange, but
Or
maybe
s-
there is a yellow.
I thought
too.
I heard. I haven't seen anything, but I thought I heard there was like a yellow or something like that. But yeah, I'm not 100% sure. But I think that the color series was the best thing they did. I mean, they got rid of the bold collection, which was good because they had way too many SKUs. Their legacy collection was cool. It told us they had a good story there. But I truly believe that their best cigars that they have in their portfolio are all the color ones. And I think they should really stick to that and focus. I think that'll do really well for them.
Yeah, I think they've made so many improvements with how they're processing tobacco, the quality of the tobacco they're buying, and it's been a big difference. And you see it's a big difference because they're delivering great value. I wasn't as big a fan as some of the like the box press black that Eve had. I didn't like it better than the rounds though. The firecracker wasn't really my profile. It was strong, that firecracker, I'll admit. Wasn't really my thing. However, I give them a lot of credit for doing some other channels to sell these things. Because look, you put a firecracker in a United account and then on a McAuliffe account, that might open up a McAuliffe account.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it was a brilliant move to do that.
100%.
Yeah.
Which, kind of reminds me, there's another thing I wanted to make sure we talked about tonight. Before something inevitably comes up when we get off topic and let loose. We have to give Jay's wife something to listen to. She loves the off-topic stuff. We got to get this out of the way. Nicaraguan tariffs have increased to 18% from 10%, which is interesting. And I know Pete Johnson, the great Pete Johnson, PHJ, he made a post on Facebook yesterday about it. I know he was a little frustrated, but he made some good points about it. And, there's a lot of ways you can dissect this whole topic, but Pete made a couple of good points, and he said initially he said like 10% was manageable, 18% is tough. And then he made another comment and he said, at 10%, I was willing to eat the cost and not pass it on to my customers, because of course, you don't want to raise prices or whatever. He made a comment about something like, I could have hired more people, but I didn't, and I just kind of stuck around with the 10% and I ate it, whatever. Then he's like, well, when I went to 18%, it's like I definitely can't hire more staff or do anything. I just, and I get it. I'm sure there's a majority of the industry is Nicaraguan made cigars now. So there's a lot of people probably feeling this heat, and it's tricky because it went up 10%. There's some people who already raised prices. Now it's 18%, and now everyone has to be like, all right, well, now it's like 4 months later, and it just went up again, almost another 10%.
And
so it's like, what do we do?
But there's still an appeal hearing on this whole tariff thing too. It's in the courts of appeals, from what I understand. So this. I'm not saying, but you can't. I understand you can't bank on it going down, but imagine if the appeals court does overturn this. And I don't know, Pat. You know more about the legality thing than me, but
that's true.
I don't know. I think we, as an industry, made a bigger deal about these tariffs than any other industry. And I think
you think so?
Yeah, I do think so. I don't hear the coffee industry whining about this. There were things.
I don't know. Gabby Caffey made a post about it. He was complaining about it.
Yeah, but okay. But he's also got cigar ties, and I get it too. In general, I think we've made a bigger deal, and most of the increases have not broke the bank from anybody. I mean, if it was I just saw, I think Perdomo had to put an increase of it's 25 cents. I mean, okay, and he's got to be eating some of this stuff. So a lot of people are eating this too. It's hurting everybody. I get it, and I feel for Pete, by the way, too. But honestly, I don't think we're feeling this in the wallet like everyone thought it was going to be.
Do you think the only point I'll make to you is, I know you mentioned other industries, right? But do you think it impacts other industries the way it impacts the premium cigar industry?
I think like coffee would maybe the one I'm thinking of that it does, because it's similar. There's a lot of small.
But that's a much bigger industry than our industry.
It's bigger, but there's a lot of cottage industry in there too.
Yeah.
A lot of the companies that deal with China, I mean, obviously are getting hit with this. So.
Mostly the accessories manufacturers.
Here's where the challenge is, right? The challenge is the Nicaraguan companies are now at a major disadvantage to Honduras and the Dominican Republic. Mm-hmm. They're at a disadvantage. So it hurts them. I get it. It hurts them.
Yeah. I mean, I said it in the beginning, and it's still early enough in the grand scheme. Long term, I don't know. I mean, again, it's like next week, Nicaragua could just come back to the table and be like, all right, and then it goes away. Like there's some other countries where that's happened. So it's like, you just never know.
We don't know. Yeah, exactly. Now, at the same time, I don't blame a company for having to make a price adjustment based on this announcement. Or Pete having to make some business decisions. I can't blame them on that. They got to plan their business.
It's outside of their control.
And I saw something where someone was complaining about, well, someone bought a new watch. And I'm like, well, so what? These cigar companies are here to make money. Isn't that why everyone's here? We want to make money and live the American dream. I mean, I don't fault anyone who bought a new watch because if they had to raise their prices. I mean, I don't fault them on that. They should. Should they be faulted to go on vacation on that? I thought that was kind of a little. When I saw that, I'm like, really? We're gonna complain.
It's one thing if you do it and then you're like going around like bragging about it, like, haha, look what I spent all your money on. But if you have a successful business and you make the revenue and you can afford things, I mean, we'd all do it. I mean, you know what I mean? Everybody lives within their means, and if there's brand owners that have a means where, there's still business challenges, but like, are they still comfortable enough where they can buy certain things? Like they should. I mean, they bust their ass enough. I mean, it's not all,
Exactly.
Like when you see the Perdomos in the store and they get their suits on and they look real nice and because they have class, they're not standing there in the nice suits all well made up like because like, oh, this is so easy, I just peddle cigars. Like, no, it's because the rest of the time they're down in the factory, they're hitting like they work nonstop. It's like they earn it, you know what I mean? They still
Right.
earn it.
So in my other world, outside of cigars, there's price increases that happen, right? But a lot of times, what we're doing is we're investing in the products that we sell, and we're investing to improve them. We're investing in innovation, and that does come with a cost, which is why we have to raise prices. And suddenly, if you're like let's say Perdomo, right? I'm taking them as an example. If they don't raise prices, that could affect how they're doing some of the innovative things like they did with this shade grown. So we want them to still be innovative and continue to do things. And like I said, I have no problem. In fact, the fact that they would eat a cost is thank you, is what I'll say. And I understand there's a price increase and it's happening all over, and I get it. I don't think it's not any. I haven't seen a price increase yet that like this was like robbery. And the only ones that were high, the ones that were high were people who haven't raised prices in 5 or 6 years, is what I noticed. So that was more of a product. Maybe they should have raised prices a few years ago, but now they finally had to do it.
Yeah, and I said that in the beginning too. I mean, there's companies out there
Yeah.
the last couple of years, like Gurkha comes to mind. I remember Juan was on the show
Yeah. Right.
maybe a year or two ago, and they were talking about something, and the cost went up or whatever, and Juan was like, but we'll eat it because we eat it, and I think of those conversations I've had with people at brands or owners of brands who have specifically said that over the last few years.
Yeah.
And then this happened. I'm like, all right, so there was already I know for a fact there's tons of brands I've had discussions with, personally, where they told me about stuff and they're like, well, we're going to eat it and keep going. And I'm like, all right, so I already know that there's costs that they've been eating. And then this happens. So it's like, how much more can you eat before you're like, all right, my hands are tied, I got to bring them up. So,
Yeah.
and then it's like, but then what happens when you raise the prices and then like several months later, okay, now there's no tariffs in that country anymore and the price goes back down.
Yeah, they never lower the cost.
They won't lower the price.
Well, so in the end, if that happens, let's say the court throws out this thing, right, and people raise prices. Well, you could be the good Samaritan and basically, you hold off on your next price increase is all. It's hard. I mean, because if you lower the price, I think it has more of a negative effect on you sometimes. I think it's something that devalues the product a bit. So you got to be careful lowering the price.
Yeah.
And I've seen companies lower prices, and I know certain companies that have changed tobaccos, and the tobaccos weren't as good, and that's why the price decrease happened. They really weren't getting the savings. There's other cases like United was a great example, right? United was able to save things on the back end, which is why they were able to. They did some stuff on the back end to basically improve their efficiency, which is why they were able to lower the price of the United line. So there's things that there's other things that you can do to lower it, and they were still able to demonstrate they have the value there, which I thought was good.
Very true. Very, very true.
They didn't sacrifice quality. I mean, I've smoked those cigars since they've been lowered in price, and they're as good as they were before.
I mean, then look at the Perdomos. When the S-chip tax went into effect, they lowered their prices. And
Yeah,
they sold more cigars.
And they still are eating that to this day, by the way.
Yeah.
Still eating it. So, I mean, there's other costs that they have to, obviously, but they're still eating that component of the S-chip, and that's what's very important with that.
But, business is still great, so...
It's funny, when you go to Perdomo, you'll say, why are they charging? They should be charging more for their cigars when you see what they do. It's amazing, yeah.
It's true. The Perdomos easily could get away with higher prices. Easily.
They kept this legacy at a really fair price, I thought.
But they don't. And they sell a shit ton of cigars, and I think that they have a formula where they're extremely profitable, even at prices that maybe one might think are a little low for them.
Yeah. Yeah.
For the price point, it hits way above its weight class.
Totally.
So, but again, every company is different. Every business is different. Like, do you notice with like your products that you sell that like things have gone up dramatically, or have you not really had any price changes?
Well, for me,
so I'm in the spa industry, but nothing as of yet, if I'm being honest. But I also haven't been placing a lot of orders. I know like one of my like hair extension orders, like we had a whole there was a tariff fee attached to it, and that was like
Specifically as like a line item?
because it came from China. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but it was a line item, meaning like if we then bought it and the tariff disappeared, they would have just cut that line item out. They didn't actually raise the price. It was just like a tariff line item.
Yeah.
That they were passing along to us. So I don't know. I mean, I'm assuming that should the tariff go away, that price goes away, like that line item, which I like if people do that.
If so facto, that is how they're looking at it and trying to handle it. Because some companies are just going to roll it into the overall. That's interesting that they're like making it like a line item. You know, like, well, then there's this because of this. You know, which to Coop's point, like if it's specifically billed out like that, then it's like, well, then it's easy to just cut that out and whatever. Versus if you're just taking like a lump number, you're like, no, just flat, it's going up $1. You know, easy math. You know, okay, it's up $1 now.
Yeah.
But you don't know if it's because of tariffs and some existing costs, and like now it's time, or is it like, oh no?
Or if they not raised it in 4 or 5 years.
Exactly. So.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Yeah, I think everything's a case-by-case basis you got to look at. But the world's not coming to an end with this, in my opinion. I think it's going to all settle out.
I think so, too. I think you got to kind of wait and see, you know. We'll see what happens. And if we're still here at the end of next year, okay, you know, that's kind of a different conversation, but we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
Just got to wait it out. I know it sucks in the meantime, but got to wait it out.
It's happening all over, though, too. So.
Yeah, and it's not like it's specific. Like, everyone's dealing with it. You know, it's like everywhere you look. Like, you look around your house. Like, every single product, they're all dealing with it. It's not like...
Yeah.
But then, I don't know. I feel like I don't want to say we because I manage the household, but I've been buying less just because. Like, anything that's not... Like, things are just so expensive right now. I don't know. Like, we got takeout the other night, and it was like $90 for 2 people.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Just for Chinese food.
The Coop
that's
review
crazy.
stuff has gotten expensive. I can tell you that.
A Coop
I'm
review.
sure.
The food reviews have gotten
The
more
coalition
pricey.
eats. Like, I'm sure. It's
And actually,
expensive.
I'm eating the Coop stuff out of the Cigar Coop budget, so it's not in the Cigar Coop budget. This stuff I fund that outside the Cigar Coop.
That comes from the William and Lisa Fund.
That comes from the William and Lisa Fund,
But think about
which
it.
is growing cigar, which is an investment in Cigar Coop because it's growing it tremendously right now.
But we like Jersey Mike's and like a full sub because he you know, you want like the big one, the full one. It's like $20.
I get the giant.
20
$20 for a sandwich.
Yeah.
I'd rather just make it at home. So I feel like we've been doing that just to
Jersey Mike's is
save.
good,
The only
though.
thing that makes sense to really like eat out right now is steak. Like the cost of steak is almost the same of eating out than it is buying it, in my opinion.
That's a good point. Like, I could go to
Like-
Costco and buy steaks for like $85, or we could just like
Just go and get one for $40 or $50. It's a little bit more, but then you get the service with it.
yeah.
Like,
I think at that point, I'm just gonna go spend the money at the restaurant. Um,
I have no patience for restaurants.
service
we
is
know.
down. Yeah, but that's
I-
the thing. People are charging more, but the service sucks. It's worse.
Yeah.
Everyone wants $1 million to do
Yeah.
their job.
That's
and they're not
true.
even good at it.
Yeah.
That's true. I mean, you're
So-
you're getting lower tier service for higher price. It's like
People don't care about their jobs now. Like no one, everyone's miserable.
It's true.
I don't know.
It's true, Nicole.
Yeah, it is true.
It's
Yeah.
sad,
Well,
but like that's
Yeah.
And then they want you to tip everywhere you go. Like, what's
yeah,
that
tip
all
for
about?
takeout, tip for
Like,
pickup
I'm not
or
against
order.
tipping, like, for things that, like, there's things that, like, you should tip, you know? Like, if you sit down at a restaurant and you have, you know,
If someone is
wait
waiting
service,
on you.
like, especially if it's good service, like, you should tip them. But, like, when I call in, like, pizza at the local house of pizza, and I go pick it up, and they're like, yeah, and they spin the tablet around, like, what's the tip? It's like, I walked in and picked up the box and left, like, I don't know. That's just me. I mean, I feel like the tipping culture is getting like
Ooh,
crazy
Jay's got
too.
a good comment for Pat. Pat, thoughts on tipping at cigar shops?
Oh, here we go. This is going to be interesting.
I was gonna say something actually.
No, go ahead. Don't be shy.
I do tip at a cigar shop, by the way.
So
It
I'll be
depends.
If
flat
they
out.
helped.
It's like a cultural thing. Like at Twins, it's not common to get tipped, and it's not expected, but it depends. I mean, I've been to cigar shops where I'm not gonna tip, like when you go to Walmart, you don't tip the cashier, right? Like
Or the
so,
greeter.
yeah. Like, but if you go to a cigar, see, like when I worked at Twins, like I would walk someone in the humidor. I'd ask them how their day is. I'd get the whole story. I'd get them on a cigar. I'd give them a little lecture on tobacco. I'd get the cigar for them. I'd cut it for them. I'd sometimes help light the cigar. I mean, I don't do it because I expect a tip or anything like that. Nor did I ever. I never expected a tip because I could probably count on one hand how many times I was actually tipped. And I think it's necessary. I think it's a good thing to do. I have been told that down south, like if you go to Florida, like it's common to tip in a cigar
Yes.
lounge. But I think if you have a tobacco, and I think tipping in general, it's a discretion thing. I think it's forced on everyone's throat these days. Like if you don't hit the 20% button, someone's gonna like take a shit in your food now. But it's gratitude, right? So I think if you feel like you were with a tobacconist that really helped you, I think you should, if you feel it's good, you should tip them. I don't think it should be expected, but um, I certainly think just like any other industry, if there's gratitude there, you should tip. It's a service industry.
I think if you're doing all that work to educate and cut and light and, set them up, like that's, worthy of a tip.
You're
right
spending
there.
the time, you're putting in the
Yeah.
effort.
Right, right.
Yeah.
And I think there's a service involved with that. And
Yeah.
I have no, like I said, I don't really have a problem with that. So,
But if I walk into a humidor and even like, oh, do you need help with anything? No, I'm good. Thank you. Because, like I know my way around. I'm going to grab what I want, go to the register, and pay. I mean, I'm sorry. I don't think it's really necessary. I
Well, that's
mean,
the thing, yeah, and that's why I think especially at Twins, like there's not like a tip jar or anything like that because I mean it's quasi retail, right? Like it's retail, but it's also a service industry, and you're competing with online too. Like, and a lot of places do free shipping, so like you don't want like one of the negatives of going to a B&M to be like, oh shit, I gotta tip somebody a couple bucks if I go in there, right? But
yeah, that's a good point.
if it's like a true retail setting, I think if you have like to me, like I mean, you tip a bartender. That's a common. I mean, it's everyone tips a bartender, and
Well, yeah.
it's if you're a real tobacconist, it's no different than selecting a bourbon at a bar. There's no difference, right? So I'm in the middle with it. Like I think it should be acceptable to tip, but I also would never be upset nor expect a tip, which is why I seldomly got one because it's just not something I look for, right? So
I will say this in regards to a cigar shop, and some of your previous coworkers can attest to this too. But usually when I go into a shop, I always have the football with me. Whether or not, like, I always go in and I buy something, but I always got this with me. And it's full. So I will say, also on some occasions too, when I go in and I do have a good experience, and maybe someone is talking to me and engaging with me or whatever, I might pull something out of there and give it to them. As like, oh, well, here, take this. Thank you. I guess it's not the same as money, but like, I mean, they're getting a free cigar. I mean, I've done that too.
I think Jay, if I don't know what Jay's opinion is, but he's probably the best one to give it since he's a business owner.
Yeah, now I'm
'cause
curious to hear what he has to say.
We will wait for Jay. I don't know. It's worked out in my favor to just give cigars to people. We had last year we had a guy come check our sprinkler system, and he said he was a cigar guy. He knew who we were, and I'm like, wait a minute, and I gave him a bag of cigars, and he took $50 off my bill. Like just to.
It does work.
Sometimes it works. I don't know. Sometimes it's helped. People are nice. I don't know.
Yeah.
I like sharing cigars.
most of the times I have been tipped, I've been tipped like a shitload of money. Like it's not like a couple dollar tip. It's like
It's like $50. You're like, whoa.
Well, especially
No,
if you dug and you found something special for the person, like maybe it wasn't on the shelf, like you went above and beyond, like in the spa industry, people do that. I'm a manager, but I don't ever. I try to say no to tips, and just when people come in, I tell them like I'm the manager. I'm not going to take your money. You want to give it to like one of the desk girls, give it to one of the desk girls. But it's not expected for doing that. But some people want it. They think you went above and beyond. I don't know. If people want to give it. But Uber Eats tips. Ooh.
Well, I mean,
Yeah, I mean they're delivering your food.
they're going and driving it. And
Yeah.
they're saving
Any
me.
delivery
They're
driver.
saving me the aggravation of having to go and get it myself. So I mean, yes, any delivery person, like, well, yeah, because you're getting the convenience. You know what I mean? Like, of course. Like, yeah, I'm gonna give you a tip because I didn't have to get my lazy ass in the car and go get it. You came and got it for me. So
Unless
yeah.
you left it in front of my door and I can't open my door.
Dude,
without knocking the drink over.
That has gotten like a tip revoked.
Or you shook my box of cookies.
There was one time when like we did I think it was like an Uber Eats, and it was like from Five Guys or something. Actually, I think it was Five Guys, and like we ordered drinks and like a milkshake, and it was when we lived in Watertown, and like our old front door, was like lower to like the stoop, and they literally came up to the house and they put all the drinks like right up against the door. And I'm like, how the hell am I supposed to, like, this is just stupid. Like I opened the door, I knocked them over. So now I got to go down to the garage and go all the way out. And it's just like, I don't know. It's just little stuff like that where I'm like, who does that? Like, you know what I mean? Like, okay. I don't know. I know it's a first world problem, but still, I mean, I feel like that's something that would get Pat all fired up. Because those are the things that Pat gets all like, when he's got like something that's really grinding him. I feel like that's something, maybe not coffee in the courtroom. I know that's like, we don't talk about that, but.
We did get an answer from Mr. J. Davis.
Oh, we did.
We did.
All right, let's see what Jay said. My employees love getting a tip. As a business owner, I kind of hate it. A $10 tip costs me credit card fees, double FICA and 401k match, so I end up subsidizing 18 to 20% on top of every credit card tip, but my employees enjoy it and it helps them.
Yeah, so I will say at Twins that there's no like option for a tip on a credit card, and that's not like it's not expect. I don't want to make Kurt sound like he doesn't want to do tip. That's not why he's doing it, but it's like it's if there's a tip, it's not a credit card, right? Like and it's not a single tobacconist at that place cares about the credit card tips because of that reason, because you add it to the fee to the and that's not what a tip's supposed to be. Like you're not supposed to cost the business more money because there's extra money being given to an employee. So yeah. But yeah, so Jay's opinion is kind of similar to mine. It's I don't think it's expected because it's a quasi retail, but I think like big tastings I've done, I never expect a tip, and I've tried rejecting tips, but obviously when someone wants to tip you, there's no saying no. But when I've done big tastings, I've been tipped. And that's just because you're more of the service portion of it, and you're not retail at that point. But if you're just ringing out of a register, a guy, knows what he wants, comes in for his weekly box of Perdomos, and he buys a box, like, you shouldn't be staring at him for a $5 tip for grabbing a box from the shelf and ringing it out. That's your job. So
What you could do, which is low pressure, I don't know, is because I think Alan said they don't have a tip feature as well at his.
Well, no, Alan had said.
Yeah, but they don't do tipping. What we do is obviously we want to avoid the credit card fees, but people can tip on the card for their spa services. But like all of our technicians have a QR code, like for their Venmo, like in like a nice little like sign holder or whatever, and that way they put it out on their table wherever. So
and then it's direct to them.
Yeah, it's direct to them. We avoid the credit card fees. We actually have in the bar that we have on site, the bartenders, because you can't tip through their point of sale system. So they have a QR code just to like tip them directly. And they don't like say it, but it's there. Just like, tips welcome. But then they're not like shoving it in people's faces or anything.
Yeah, we've had debates upstairs, like just with customers in the past, would be annoyed because, like when the retail shop closes downstairs, I'm obviously like at Twins we have the lounge upstairs and it stays open till midnight. The retail closes at 9, so there's like a little humidor upstairs that you can get cigars out of after hours, but then it gets put on your bill. So there's a mixed opinion on whether or not you tip on this, because a cigar is like, well, honestly, a cigar is not much different than the price of a cocktail these days. But if someone gets like we'll just call it like a $30 Padron, and maybe they're drinking like beer, and they have like a $60 tab, there is a debate on whether or not you tip on the $60 or the $30 worth of beer. I don't think you tip on the cigar, and I work at the shop, but there's.
So I have tipped at Twins on the card for the service because the girls are always great. They bring everything over. They do the thing after hours. When the shop's been closed. So like I say tip in that case, but is it a full 20%? Depends on what you're feeling. Depends on how much you drink. Usually, if I'm drinking more, I'm doing 20%. So
Well, Pat,
depends on how drunk I am.
Well, Pat, let me ask you this question. So, there's a debate, sure, but in actuality, because you see the slips that come through in the bar, do people more often than not just tip the whole tab, or do they figure it out and only tip on the drink percentage? Like, what have you actually seen come across the slips?
I mean, you never know, because like only a fool does their math on the receipt for how they plan their tip out. But it's yeah, I think it's both, and I bartended. I don't know if anyone remembers that, but I bartended at Twins for like 2 years, as well as down in
I
the
do.
humidor being a tobacconist. And I never really, I mean, there's times I would kind of be a tobacconist at the bar, and I'd get yelled at because I was in the humidor too long with people. But I never anything tobacco related, I never expected a tip on. But I know, like, from a bartender perspective, like, you make your money behind the bar, making the drinks, talking to the customers. So, that, I guess, walking to the humidor and having that dialogue, you could put in with the overall.
I mean, I guess I don't have like an opinion on one way or the other. Not because I don't care, but just because I guess I haven't really thought about this topic. But one thing that does come to mind in that situation is when you're talking about the lounge specifically. Well, the lounge is really run by bartenders, whereas not that the bartenders don't work downstairs ever, but when you're in the bar, when you're in the lounge, and the primary employee staff is people behind the bar, and they may go get cigars out of the secondary humidor upstairs, which and like Nicole said, we've been up there, we know exactly how it works. So if you're slinging drinks behind the bar and doing bartender work, and then you have to go and get a cigar for someone out of the humidor while you're also working the bar, and you got people sitting at the bar that you're waiting on, and this and that, and it's part of your time, I could see in that setting why just tipping on all of it makes sense, because that bartender is still working the lounge and doing everything to take care of you. I guess I can see that. I get it. I can see how maybe it's different where you walk into the store downstairs and you're just grabbing and going. It's different. I'm just trying to see both sides of it, and try to break it down. Do I see what you're saying, Pat? Yes. On like like with the analogy you made with like the Padron and the beer, I do see that too. I guess if I was to justify just tipping on all of it, it would be that. It's, well, the bartender's still working the room. Still, you might be drinking, but then you're like, oh, can I get an Ashton? Oh, I got to go down there and get it. They'll bring it to you. That's time that they maybe not getting some, maybe that someone else is waiting for them to get them a drink, and now they got to go get you a cigar. I mean, I guess like if I was to put it that way, it makes sense to me. I don't know if that makes
But
sense to
some
everyone
people
else.
don't tip a full like 20% on drinks at the bar. They just tip like a couple bucks per drink, right?
True.
So like,
I guess it depends on the tipping habits too.
The other funny topic, you can kind of go, funny is not the right word for it, but the other thing that I've seen from like a lounge, because I don't know how we kind of got into this conversation, but is like the cutting fee if you buy a cigar at a lounge. Like, Kurt doesn't have like when you go to like I won't name shops, but there's certain lounges that if you're in the lounge buying from the lounge humidor, there's like a $2 increase on all the cigars MSRPs for like a service, like a cut and light fee. I don't know if that's what they call it, a cut and light fee. But it's like extra. If you go to like the shop portion of it during the day, it's like $10 MSRP. But if you go to the lounge after hours, it's like $12 to $15. Like there's an extra fee added just because it's like after hours and you're in the lounge. Like Kurt doesn't do that, but I've been to plenty of places that have like a lounge humidor fee, I'll call it.
Just across the board, or only if you carry in?
Like no, like if you like, well, you have to buy in these places. Like you can't bring stuff in.
Because I've been to a few lounges where like they do that across the board, but then I've been to some where like they only do it like they'll let you carry in, especially like if it's a bar setting too. So like they know you're buying drinks, so like if you bring your own, like whatever, but they'll charge you a cut and light fee if you bring one in and you cut it and light it, even if like you're ordering drinks. Or unless if you order like there's like a 2 or 3 drink minimum, then they waive it. Like Stanza does that. Like you can go into Stanza, and like if you're buying drinks, like multiple drinks, like they'll let it go. But if you come in and sit down and you just light your own, they won't kick you out, but they'll charge you like $10.
Well, they charge $20 for an acid, so like.
Yeah.
What do you?
I know. Same with 8 Lounge. 8 Lounge charges more. It's like $35 for a Cuba Cuba. It's like what? But anyway, sorry.
Yeah, it's
I was trying to like make sense of like what you were saying. That's all.
Nasty Frida was $40 there.
What happened?
You talking about 8 in Vegas?
Yeah.
Yeah, a Nasty Frida was $40 when I went there. I was like, I told Kurt, I'm like, I'm gonna buy something because I have that. It's that principle. Like I buy wherever I go, I have to buy one cigar, and I'm seeing like they have Opus there for like $200. I'm like, holy shit. So I'm like, I'm gonna get something from this fucking humidor out of principle, and I'm like, what is the cheapest thing? I'm like, oh, this Nasty Fritas. I'm in the clear. $45 for a Nasty Frita. I'm like, shit. Oh my god.
That's just criminal.
It was insane.
Coop, you're being quiet over there.
No, I'm listening to it. I kind of agree with everything you guys are saying.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, I agree with all this. Yeah, there's nothing really.
$45 for a Nasty Fritas that's just criminal. That's just criminal.
Well, go to Dubai. Go to Dubai, and it's $78 for a Crowned Heads. A $10 Crowned Head cigar, and yeah.
That is crazy.
Well, I mean, at 8, you're paying for the location. You're paying for where it is. You're paying for it being Vegas.
They got high overhead because they're in Resorts World.
Stanza's the only cigar lounge in all of Boston.
Yeah.
So like you're paying for it because they can. They can charge you that. They have no competition. So.
It's true.
Just depends.
I'm just watching the comments rolling in here. Well, now we know why Alan spends so much on room service. He said he tips 30%.
Yeah, but that's nice.
That's not. In fairness, that's room service tips are high.
Yeah. $40 for a waffle though. Sorry, I had to. It was right there. I mean, I'll never let that down. $40 for a waffle, dude. Wow, that is insane. And I'll tell you, Vegas prices in general are just out of control. I mean, that town was built on the reputation of, it was cheap to get in there. You spent the money at the table. Now, before you even walk in the casino, like all your money's gone. You check in, you book the room, you fly in, you book the room, you pay for the room, you check in, you go up to your room, you go eat, because you've been traveling, and you've already spent $500. I mean, and then you still got to be there and eat and go do shit the rest of the time. Like, where's the money to go gamble? And they're bitching about like, oh, well, traffic in Vegas is down. Oh, the casinos are complaining that they're down revenue. Well, yeah, because the $7 prime rib and lobster tail, that doesn't exist anymore. Like, now you're paying, 2 people go to dinner at an average Vegas restaurant, and they're paying $300, $400, $500. That's not even a lot. That's barely any booze. Like, there was a time when you spent $500 in dinner, and it was like, well, we got like 2 bottles of wine, and we got some cocktails, and we all got steak. Now it's like we got steak and sides and like a Caesar salad, and we're out $600 for 2 people, and we didn't even drink. You know what I mean? It's shit like that. Like, you know, when you get into that, I mean, that's a problem they have to figure out on their own. But that's what happens when all of the casino companies sell all the resorts to BlackRock and then rent them back to themselves. That's what happens. Got to make up that money somewhere. Yeah, MGM pays like, was it like $500 million a year just to rent the Bellagio? Yeah, they got to make up that money somewhere. So it is ridiculous. Just another thing. Everything's going up. Everything's expensive. You know, just it is what it is. This is the world now. For now, I don't know. We'll see. We'll probably never see anything get cheap again.
You're just gonna have to enjoy my cooking.
Yeah, it's just yeah, yeah.
Not going out.
Coop, Coop, you're the older one in the room here. So
Right.
you and I don't say that negatively, meaning like you come from a time where you remember when like life today was like, oh man, that'll never happen, and now it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree.
You
I'm
remember
still
a
stuck in
time.
the I'm still stuck in the 70s. They say.
Like when like people even older than you were like, oh, I used to like my mom used to give me like $4 to get her a pack of cigarettes, and then I'd go down to the store and then
I bought my dad cigarettes for years.
yeah, and then I'd still have change to buy myself enough candy for a week. It's like what? It's like that I can't even like comprehend that. It's like what do you mean?
I would go into the luncheonette in Brooklyn, and the luncheonette they had like milkshakes on a counter. I'd buy my dad his cigarettes, and I'd go back. That's how it was.
You used to do the same thing in England.
Yep. When I first moved to England, the smoking age was 16 years old. So like when I was 14, I could buy cigarettes and they wouldn't question me because I looked older. So my mom would send me down and I'd go and I'd get her cigarettes and then I'd get a 10p like candy. They still had like 10-cent candy and stuff like that. Nowadays, no, but
Yeah, that's those days are over, unfortunately. But again, that all goes back to the cigar lounges too. It's the same effect. I mean, it's everywhere. It's not like it's exclusive to any one place. It's everywhere you go now. It's the same thing. And then then the tip conversation, which I'm glad Jay brought it up because it's kind of interesting. So it's like you go to all these different places now for all these different things or different services or whatever, and then you got a tip on top of all of it too, and it's just like, and I also believe like if you go to a restaurant and you sit down for an hour and a half and you are waited on and you get food or whatever, like, and if you can't like tip properly or tip at all, like then you don't go out to dinner. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't like because then you get people like, well, it's so expensive now that when I go to a restaurant I just don't tip because like I'm already paying so much. It's like okay, but I think in a restaurant, it's kind of always been like if someone's like Nicole said earlier, if someone's waiting on you, you got to tip them. In a restaurant, you're sitting down, they're running back and forth, they're doing shit. Like that's one of those places where like it's kind of like you got to. And I've seen people post on social media. They're like, oh well, where they get either someone posts about it or someone posts someone else doing it to them. You see these things, right? Like they have pictures of receipts, and it's like, the bill's like $375, whatever. And they go, oh, no tip or whatever, because it was already so much. And it's like, well, I mean, but you still got to tip them for that. I mean, in that situation, if you can't pay that and then the tip, then you just don't go out. I mean, that's not fair to them, because most wait staff, they survive mostly off their tips. So it's like now you're not even paying them. So it's like, well, don't fuck someone else over because, just don't go out. I think that's fair. I don't know. But don't expect me to tip you when I walk in and grab it myself. Or like the new self-checkout thing. It's like, oh, I guess I work here now. I gotta ring up my own stuff. That's a whole nother thing. Well, we won't get into that. Wow, I really killed the mood there.
I
Jesus.
Well,
Look at Pat over there drinking his white wine. So sophisticated.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, Coop. I haven't been, I'll admit, and I put something out on the website last night for everyone to read and enjoy. I'm not even going to get into it. You can go to the website and read it. But it was a note from the editor. But I haven't been as on top of things, but I feel like, unless I've just still been living under my rock from the last few months, I feel like I haven't seen a lot of Coop food reviews lately.
Every Friday. We haven't missed a week.
Oh well, I've missed it. That's on me.
Yeah,
So
we haven't missed a week.
you kind of do things in themes.
Yeah.
So what theme are you on right now?
I'm kind of in between themes. I started a hot dog theme. I'm gonna kind of revisit the hot dog theme as we get closer to Labor Day again.
Well, we already know Costco's #1, so.
Costco did very well. I don't know if it may still be #1. Costco did very well. Nathan's didn't do it. The Nathan's place I went to didn't do as well. But there's a few more coming as far as that goes.
The last time I went to a Nathan's, I remember being like, "Oh shit, I haven't been to a Nathan's in a while. I'll go to Nathan's get a hot dog."
Yeah.
And I remember being like, "It's Nathan's. Like, what happened?" You know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah. It depends. Nathan's is very franchise specific.
Yeah.
I will say we had our biggest review ever on Cigar Coop, one of the food reviews, beating out the cigar reviews.
what was it?
Like Arby's cheesesteak, which did horrendous. It was. I mean, when I tell you the numbers I did on that thing, it was mind-boggling even to me. And what happens is when it gets picked up from other places, that's what happens. And it got picked up is what happened.
We have an Arby's.
We do.
I still haven't been there.
It's.
Me either.
Oh,
But
I thought you have been to
oh.
Arby's.
No, I bought my dog in an Arby's parking lot off of Craigslist. That's where Harley came from.
Well, yeah, but I don't know. I thought you've actually eaten there.
No, I haven't.
Well, why would I go to Arby's when we have Kelly's roast beef?
It's true.
Which even Coop knows about Kelly's roast beef.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember I saw that review get published, and I was like, wait, when were you in Boston?
But it was like weeks and weeks. It was because I was only in one night, and literally,
Yeah.
I was in Chelsea. I went to the airport. I went to Chelsea and flew out the next day. It was very quick. I didn't have a car.
I was like a proud mother. I was like, wait, there's a Kelly's roast beef review on Coop? I'm like, what's going on? This is like our local fare. I'm like, what is this? I will tell you this. Your review on Kelly's was pretty spot on. But I will tell you that Kelly's has become kind of like, I don't want to use the term tourist trap. But it's not too far away. But there was a time, even before I was born, but even like when I was younger, like I remember, like when it was still like, there was a time when I think you gave it like overall, like it was a 7.5 out of 10, which is not bad.
It was like, yeah, close to that, yeah.
But there was a time when, before they got a little bit too big for their bridges, Kelly's was a solid like 8-9 out of 10. I mean, they really were. And then they just kind of gotten kind of big. So when things get big, you know how it goes. It's like, it's not the same. You know, like when McDonald's first started in the 50s, I'm sure they were the best friggin' burgers you've ever had. Now you go to McDonald's, they're like, well, it's McDonald's.
McDonald's,
you know what I mean?
If you take the Arby's thing out, McDonald's is the #1 reviewed place. I mean, it just gets the numbers.
Well, it's
so
McDonald's.
bad.
Yeah.
It's McDonald's. I mean, again, taking the Arby's thing, which I think was more of an anomaly, what happened with that, but all the McDonald's stuff did very well.
Did you review the snack wrap yet?
I did not. I'm not a fan of the snack wraps. I don't know if I want to eat it again, but I probably will.
I feel
Yeah,
like
but
you have to.
Yeah, but don't you have that same stance on the McRib, and you did the McRib, didn't you?
No, I love the McRib.
Oh, I thought you didn't like the McRib. Who is it
No,
that hates the McRib?
I don't know who hates it, but I'm a fan. Fred Rui actually said I scored it too low. It didn't score like a huge number, but
I think Fred Rui is the biggest fan of the McRib that I've ever seen.
I think Fred Rui actually, I'm telling you, he made he's a big part of, I think, why McRib continues.
Fred Rui's out there keeping the McRib alive.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, he might be.
Yeah.
How many times have they said it's gone, it's not coming back, and then like a year and a half later,
I knew it was coming back.
and then they're like, oh, it's back. It's like, oh, saw that coming.
The food industry with their limited releases are very similar to the cigar industry. Yeah.
Yeah, but do you remember like 4 years ago, unless it was longer, when they did that whole like the McRib farewell tour thing, And they're like,
Yeah,
that's
and
it. Like, we're all done. And then, like, 2 years later, like, it's back. And it's like,
it came back the
that's
next year.
bullshit. Yeah, it's bullshit. Like,
And because the way it was is it was farewell for this year. This was what it
yeah.
was.
But they make it
It's
sound like, oh, that's it. We're never doing it again. So get it
Yeah.
now. Like,
Yeah.
and then next year, like, oh, it's back now. It's like, it's all bullshit.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my god. Well, anyway, Coop, was there anything that we didn't get to that was on the list of notes?
Not really. I think we got to most of them. It's been a quiet month
Yeah.
for sure. So there's not like a lot of major stories that have broken. There's been a few releases. Most of the big releases have come from like STG and Altadis in the last months too. So that's kind of what I've seen them. Oh, you know what we didn't talk about?
What?
The 2025 Traveling Roadshow.
I thought we did talk about that. No?
Did we? Like it started. It started.
Didn't we talk about it after it got like announced for its like revival?
Well, we
talked
might
about
have.
it when Nimitz was on the show.
Yeah, we did it
But
on another show because Nimitz was on.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't talk about it because it's. I don't know. I think it's still kind of. I don't think. I'm not seeing any excitement about it. Like it's making its way. It's coming into Charlotte next week. I don't think I'm even going. I don't think I'm even going to spend time going to it. I've been to it. It was very disappointing last year. I'll just say that. I will say Altadis of the four companies seems to be putting the most effort into it. They're making an effort to show new products. I think they're doing some good events. Well, those events got to happen after the road tour, so that wouldn't count that. But Altadis seems like they're putting the effort in. But in general, I don't see the big retailers making purchases here. And I think, if you're looking for big sales, you're not going to get it here because you have a lot of people who bought at PCA, and you have TAA coming up for a lot of the TAA retailers. So I don't see them taking advantage of it. And the retailers who are going to go, I don't see them making big orders.
Yeah.
So no one's told me there's been this spectacular offer where I have to go to this. I'm gonna make out like a king on it. So I don't know what the future of this is gonna hold, but I just see no excitement. No one's talking. No one's talking about it.
Yeah. Well, part of the problem too is it's like it's a retailer event, so take every consumer out of the mix. So
That's the problem right there. It's very limited.
And then of those retailers, I mean, like you said, I mean, at least half of them they're all set. So really, I think it boils down to some of the smaller retailers. And even then, like now you're talking people with limited money to spend, compared to like a big store or a big retailer that's got like 4 locations, where they need to have tons of inventory, and they got an online business too. It's like, yeah, I mean, I think it's an interesting concept. I like the concept of it, but yeah, I mean, the actual execution or like the results of it.
You told me the Massachusetts one did well last year, though.
From what I heard, I mean, I wasn't there, but from what I heard, it was good.
Yeah. The Charlotte one, I could tell you, was the day I went. It wasn't very well attended, but there's not a lot of retailers in Charlotte. I think there's probably more retail. I don't know how many there are in your area, but Charlotte doesn't have a lot of retailers.
I mean,
Well, New England's close together though too, so I feel like you can get retailers from Mass and New Hampshire and like
that's
Rhode
true. I
Island
mean,
together.
for the size of North
Yeah.
Carolina, you can get Massachusetts, New Hampshire, Connecticut, Rhode Island, one whack. You know what I mean? In Rhode Island, I mean, they
If
got
I was
40
them,
shops.
I would have did Rhode Island if I was them, because
Honestly?
you have a lot of stores in a small area.
Well, because in New Hampshire, I mean, we got Twins, Two Guys, Castro's, the new Rhino Lounge.
Well, it's all southern New Hampshire too.
That's all Southern here. Who else? Pat, am I forgetting anybody? Who else am I? Tobacco Haven.
To me, Rhode
Federal.
Island got the best places.
Massachusetts has like one store every 20 miles, 30 miles.
Right.
Right? So you go to Rhode Island and it's like you can't go a mile without seeing a cigar store. So yeah,
And
you're
there's
right.
really good lounges, and there's really good lounges in Rhode Island too. You got Paul's place, you got Michael's place. You have a
R.I.P.
lot.
Vintage.
Oh, I know. Vintage was awesome in Westerly, Rhode Island. I loved that place.
That place, I've been there once years ago. My old friend Stogie Santa, and who used to work at Joyle's, and yeah, I mean, I mean, I remember Paul Joyle had his old shop before the new one's incredible. His old shop was literally a back room in the liquor store he had. And it
Yeah, no, I
became one
know.
of the
He told us about it. When we went down there, we sat at the bar. He told us the whole, and I was like, oh damn. And then I'm like, wait, so you did all this out of that?
yeah.
Yeah, because he made his money through the liquor business, and then he expanded on that, and now he's
Yeah,
got the whole Mr. J's.
Yeah, and it's that new place. I've been there once. It was the weekend I saw you actually.
I remember.
Which is 3 years ago. It's hard to believe that. And I just think, like I said, there's a lot of places in Rhode Island in a small area, and that's why I would think that would have been a better target for a traveling roadshow, in my opinion.
I
You have
see
a lot
you,
of
Mike.
stores too that don't. You have a lot of stores that don't go to PCA there too. So I think there's things that you could benefit from that one.
Yeah.
I'm biased. I'm biased because I know people there and everything, but it is. I think it would be a great location where you have. In Atlanta would be another one because there's a lot of stores in Atlanta. I don't know how the Atlanta one did last year.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything on that one either. I feel like I don't really know anyone from Atlanta in general, like industry-wise.
Yeah, I know two. One sold. One guy I knew sold his place. The other one I haven't really been in touch with. I used to go. Jose every year used to do his blending seminar in Atlanta, and I go every year. It was another place named Blue. Actually, it wasn't Blue Smoke, but it was Blue something. And Jose would do his, and I go every year down there to see Jose. For years I was doing that.
I mean, I guess it makes sense that's a big cigar market too.
It's a good there's a lot of stores. Charlotte doesn't nearly have the amount of stores that Atlanta has.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think this is a good stopping point for the show. We're getting up to our 2-hour mark, which is usually where we try to keep it around. So, I also know Nicole has places to be tomorrow. So,
Work.
but anyway, thank you guys for being here with us.
Thank you. Yeah.
It was awesome to be here with you guys, and I'm glad Nicole was with us tonight.
Absolutely.
Which was great.
Great treat. Nice to have her here.
I know. We have to try to keep this going.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. I mean, thank you guys for being here and listening and watching the show. As always, like and subscribe, and head over to smokingtobacco.com for more news, reviews, and updates from the cigar industry.